I'm Julianne Eidelman. Welcome back to Outreach Support. Today I want to think a little bit about the different kinds of Parenting by Connection work and what kind of work is right for you. There's there's a lot of different ways of thinking about the work that you do in Parenting by Connection. But I'd like to think about two different kinds of work. The work that you can do is sometimes really different from the work that you find most satisfying. Excuse me, the work that really feeds you and is easy to do and you really enjoy and doesn't feel like work. So you might want to just grab a sheet of paper and make two columns. And when you look at the different kinds of Parenting by Connection work, I use a grid of 4 different sections when I'm thinking about the different kinds of Parenting by Connection work. And I do it that way because I market each of the quadrants differently. So I know if it's in the in-person small group quadrant that we're going to need flyers and we're going to need phone calls and we're going to need certain things are going to need to happen that don't need to happen if it's an online event for a large and varied audience. So when you look at that grid, think about the 2 types of work. And sometimes it's not the work itself that makes the difference. It's the audience. So, for instance, we were talking at the retreat about wanting to work with certain populations. One of the people at the retreat really wants to work with families that are affected by domestic violence, but there's often not a lot of money to do that. So, how do you reach an audience that really feeds what you want to do and means something to you personally versus just serving the people that are able to pay for whatever resources they need? So we talked a little bit about grants. We talked a little bit about cooperation with other organizations that write grants and need help with the parenting piece. We just talked through the options of ways to get that work funded or ways to include it in certification process or whatever. If that particular audience hadn't been the target, our whole strategy around that work would have been different. So it helps to think about what the different categories are and how you're going to meet your particular needs. There might be one group or one type of work that meets your need for income. There might be a different type of work and a totally different audience that really feeds your soul. So I want you to think about both and think about what needs to happen to balance those two in the particular Parenting by Connection work that you choose to do.